Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. So, the Raid Redemption is going to be remade by Michael Bay and it's going to be on Netflix. This does not make me happy at all. The Raid Redemption is a fantastic film. The Raid 2 is a fantastic film. And instead of making a remake of the first Raid movie, how about you turn the Raid into a trilogy and make that third movie a lot of fans are dying for? The Raid Redemption is one of the best action films you'll ever see. It comes straight from out of the country of Indonesia. It's become a cult classic. And if my parrot would like to leave me alone for a second, is it, sweetie? It's a cult classic, and it's because of the fantastic martial arts choreography. It's so beautifully done, and it's all done in a location, in one location, which is this high rise sort of apartment block where these police officers have to go in there and stop some sort of kingpin drug lord. But as they progress, most of them die, leaving this one particular cop, played by the actor Iko Uwais, to basically deal with everything himself. And the fight scenes are just superb, absolutely superb. You cannot go wrong with this movie, regardless of it being subtitled and all that bollocks. Just fucking watch it. You're gonna love it. Absolutely love it. If you're an action movie junkie, this is the film for you. So the thought of a remake, god damn it, it just sends shivers down my spine. Michael Bay is going to be doing this. This is the Michael Bay who thinks that films have to have lots of explosions and people walking in slow motion and having the same sort of looking woman. Everyone looks like fucking Megan Fox in these films, and getting good angled shots of their crack every time they're on screen. This is Michael Bay. Now, granted, he won't be directing these movies. It'll be done by, let me just quickly find his name. The director who done The Hitman's Bodyguard, Patrick Hughes. Now, Gareth Evans was the original director of the first two Raid movies, and he is on board as a producer. But I'm not sure how I feel about that. If Michael Bay is spearheading this movie, he's going to put his Michael Bay isms into this movie, and a film like this doesn't need that. I'm not too concerned that it's going to be on Netflix. Netflix is better than, say, Disney Plus when it comes to adult orientated action movies. You know, I'd rather it be on Netflix than Disney Plus in that sense. But I am concerned who's spearheading this. If it was somebody else, like the director who does the John Wick movies, I would be a lot more happier knowing that he's taking this project on board. But Michael Bay, he's old school. And unfortunately, what we've seen with a lot of directors and movie makers is that the longer they hang around, the worse they become. George Lucas is a prime example. Steven Spielberg, Ridley Scott, some of their more recent stuff, it's been absolutely shit. And these are people who have made some of the most memorable movies in cinema history. And Michael Bay is in that category too. He's made some good stuff earlier in his career. The Rock being one of the more recognisable films. But in a few years' time, that film is going to be close to 3 fucking decades. So, yeah. You know, he hasn't made anything good recently, has he? Transformers, possibly, the last one I can think of, the first one. And even then, that was adequate to good. It wasn't fantastic. And now he's going to take on a project like this, The Raid. You know, a cult classic. Please. We've already got Judge Dredd, which is very similar and it's done quite well. Do we really need Michael Bay to put his influence on something as remarkably amazing as The Raid? I don't think so. The guy's poison, as far as I'm concerned, and he should be nowhere near this project. But let me know what you think. I'm not happy about this news. I really ain't. I'm really unhappy about this. Obviously, I'll give it a watch. I'm sure it's gonna be an interesting flick if once it does get made. I want it not to necessarily be big budget. You know, one of the good things about the original Raid is that it wasn't a big budget movie, and it being this low budget action flick really worked for it. The dimness of it, the gloomness of it. You know, if we had all these bright lights and fucking all this sort of shit, and oh god, I just the thought of it, you know, like being Hollywoodified, it just sends a shiver down my spine. I really, really do not want this remake to happen. As I said earlier, just make Raid free. Hollywood, greenlight that, because people will fucking buy that. Let Gareth Evans do it the way he wants it, because you know for a fact that the first two films are very popular and they are masterpieces in their own right. So just give him free reign, just give him a shitload of fucking money, and let him make a fantastic trilogy for us fans to appreciate. You don't need to remake jack shit. Alright, let the world fucking know that this is not a good idea. I mean, for some people it will be a good idea because it's Raid. Yeah, great. I love the original Raid. I'd love to see another version of it, but not Hollywood. This is the thing. Hollywood doesn't necessarily make things better. I've seen Hollywood versions of independent shit or foreign shit, and it's just so bad. Fever Pitch comes to mind. There's a British movie called Fever Pitch, and it's about a football fan. And I've seen the American version with Drew Barrymore, and it's a fucking disgrace. Things like that. You don't need this film to be made by Hollywood. Maybe they can support it if they make a third movie, but that's about it. That's about it. Oh god. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Bye bye.